Breaking news. Here with me is the joint declaration on the return of Benin Bronzes and bilateral museum cooperation. That means the agreement that was entered between the Federal Republic of Germany and the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the return of Benin Bronzes. And if I continue to screw up, you will see at the bottom of it those who signed on this declaration, signed in duplicate: Berlin, 1st July 2022, the Federal Republic of Germany, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Lena Bedborg, the Federal Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Zubiru Dada, Minister of State Affairs. Then when I screw up, you see Claudia Roth, Minister of State for Culture and the Media from Germany. Then you see Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture. So all of these signed. So I'll be reading it for you guys as we find the discrepancies concerning the controversies on MOWAA and Benin Royal Museum. So I'll be reading. So, joint declaration on the return of Benin Bronzes and bilateral museum cooperation between the Federal Republic of Germany, represented by the Federal Foreign Office, and the Federal Government Commission for Culture and Media, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by the Federal Minister of Information and Culture and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Hereinafter, also individuals referred to as the side and collectively as the sites. Considering that German public museums and institutions hold significant collections of Benin bronzes, including artifacts made from other materials, looted from the former Kingdom of Benin after its colonial occupation and acquired in the aftermath mainly through colonial trading network. Acknowledging the great artistic, historical and current value of these artifacts for Nigeria, its present and future generations, particularly for the Edo people, as well as their universal importance for humankind. Recognizing the need to achieve not only the return of objects but also a new understanding of cultural cooperation between Nigeria and Germany, recalling the report of the German-Nigeria Bar National Commission signed on 3rd November 2021, as well as the bilateral agreement between both governments on cultural cooperation signed on 17th December 1999. Mindful of the German statement on the handling of the Benin bronzes in German museums and institutions of 29th April 2021, whereas Nigerian and German delegates and representatives of German museums met in Berlin in July 2021, as well as in Abuja in October 2021, and reconfirmed their resolve to return Benin bronzes in German museums to Nigeria as set out in the Memorandum of Understanding signed on 13th October 2021. Considering that German museums and their trustees support this process and are taking the relevant decision on transfer of ownership, the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Federal Republic of Germany conclude the following joint declaration. So I'll continue now. I will now read the joint declaration from number 1 to 12. Number 1, both sides emphasize the common understanding and the aim in returning the Benin Bronzes unconditionally to Nigeria. Both sides underline the significant potential in building further relationship in the areas of preservation and digitalization of cultural heritage, museum and research cooperation, art and exhibition and archaeology. 2. Both sides welcome the progress made by the discussions initiated in 2021 concerning the cooperation on and the return of Benin Bronzes. Both sides expressed their political willingness to ensure the transfer of ownership to Nigeria of all Benin Bronzes held in public museums and institutions in Germany. Third, both sides expressed their political willingness for all bronzes held in German public museums and institutions to be returned. To date, 1,130 such artifacts has been identified in German public museums and institutions. 4. Both sides declared that the National Commission for Museums and Monuments (NCMM) and the respective German public museums and institutions which currently hold the Benin Bronzes will sign transfer agreements, including transfer of ownership, physical return of objects to Nigeria from 2022, provisions on loan and on travelling exhibition. Fifth, both sides intend that German public museums and institutions will continue to display Benin Bronzes on loan as set out in their transfer agreement. 6. Both sides understand the importance of sharing related documentation such as reports, archive material, and inventory and historical loan report. 7th, both sides declare their mutual willingness to deepen their cooperation, including archaeological exploration work, training, and institution building. In collaboration with the German Archaeological Institution (DAI), joint training of museums managers, in cooperation with the planned International Museum Agency and German museums, the German Academic Exchange Service (DAAD), and other partners. 8. Both sides jointly undertake to support the establishment of museum facility in Benin City. 9. Both sides intend to support the exchange and cooperation in the field of contemporary and future production of artworks. Both sides declare their intention to contribute to the universal role of the Benin Bronzes by cooperating in the field of exhibitions and research, and by ensuring their display is accessible to the general public and to research. 11th, both sides understand that the issues of digitalization, copyright, and associated issues will be considered in the transfer agreement. 12, which is the last, both sides intend to facilitate the circulation of cultural objects, particularly the Benin Bronzes, by collaborating on international travelling and joint exhibition. So that was the end of the 12 grand agreement that was entered by the Federal Republic of Germany and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You can see it's 12. You are not seeing it clearly. 12 grants from number 1 to 12. Then you see they signed. The people I told you signed. So it was on 12 grants. So, but I will try to do some clarity on number 1, for example. So it said both sides emphasize the common understanding and the aim in returning Benin Bronzes unconditionally to Nigeria. Both sides underline the significant potential in building further relationships. So It was on building also relationship in the area of preservation and digitalization of the cultural heritage, museum and research corporation, art exhibition, archaeology. So that is on the number one on that agreement, to build relationship on the area of the preservation and the digitalization of the heritage. Then in number two, both sides welcome the progress by the discussion initiated in 2021. So both sides expressed their willingness to ensure transfer of ownership. So both sides were willing to transfer the ownership of those bronzes to Nigeria, to be held in public, that which are held in public museum and institutions in Germany. So they are willing to release all the artifacts of Benin Bronzes that is in museum in Germany and in their institutions back to Nigeria. So seven, both sides declare their mutual willingness to deepen their cooperation, including archaeological exploration work, training and institution building. So deepen their cooperation in what? In exploration of the archaeological work and training and institution building that is in this place. And in number eight, both sides jointly undertake to support the establishment of museum facility in Benin City. In other words, they came in agreement that they are going to establish a museum facility in Benin City. So they came together in that agreement, joint declaration agreement that was entered between the Federal Republic of Germany and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They both agree to establish, to support the establishment of museum facility in Benin City. No name of any museum mentioned in this place. Then in number 12, which is the last part of it, both sides intend to facilitate the circulation of cultural objects, particularly the Benin Bronzes, by collaborating on international traveling and joint exhibition. So that is also there. Then 10, both sides declare their intention to contribute to the universal role of the Benin Bronzes by cooperating in the field of exhibition and research, by ensuring their display is accessible to the general public and to research. So these were the joint agreement that was entered by the Federal Republic of Germany and the Federal Republic of Nigeria on building their relationship. It's not about just all about the bronzes, but they want to use that means also to strengthen the relationship between both countries, and also they want to make sure that all the Benin artifact that is in their custody in their museums or in their institutions, they will see to it that that agreement see that everything is returned to Nigeria, and also they will see to it that an institution is built, a museum is built collaboratively to see where they will house all these artifacts. And to what I read, that museum will also be as the capacity of what we are seeing in MOWAA also, in terms of training, in terms of exhibition work and many others, and people all around will come to that place to see what is there. So it will be open to the general public. But mind you, in this joint agreement, you see that no name of any museum was mentioned. It's just that they agree that they are going to build a museum in Benin City to facilitate all the Benin bronzes that will be returned. So my next video will be, maybe my next video will show what then happened to this particular agreement that was entered by Germany and Nigeria on the return. What were the obstacles? What were the challenges? What was the discussion that was had in the Bundestag? Bundestag means just like the Senate, a parliament. what was discussed, what was the concerns of the interpolators concerning the Benin Bronzes, what were the interests, because if I read everything for you, the document that I have, you will see that it's not all about the Benin Bronzes. There were other components of people, of group, that was also claiming co-ownership of the Benin Bronzes. So let me not explain everything. That is another topic of its own. So I will come again and I will show you guys another, as in another aspect of the Benin Bronzes. This is coming from Germany. It's not Nigerian news. This is the German news, what the German people put out there. So I will show you guys what the Federal Republic of Germany, what they said, the Federal Republic government of Germany, what they said about the artifacts, some questions that was asked them, and how they responded to some of the questions that was asked. From those questions that was asked the federal government of Germany, you will see that there were other forces, irrespective of this agreement that was entered to transport all the bronzes of Benin that is in their museums and institutions to Nigeria. You will see that there were other forces that came that said, no, we are claiming co-ownership of the Benin bronzes, because we were also affected with the 1897 massacre that happened. So they also claim ownership. So what makes everything to change? That is what we'll be looking at in our next video, as in questions that was asked the federal government of Germany in the parliament. Thank you.